care briefly in the last moments here. There is renewed talk in the front page of the Washington Post this morning that the so-called government insurance public option is alive and well. What's your thought on that?
Well, the rationale for the so-called public option, Larry, is they wanted to keep the private sector honest. So under that logic, if we don't like the pricing of, say, toilet paper, are we going to have a government-run Walmart? If we don't like the price of potatoes, are we going to have government-run potato farms in northwestern Minnesota? I don't think so. It's a very dangerous mindset. It's a very dangerous worldview. It's corrosive to the pillars of private enterprise and markets. I don't like the idea of federalizing the health care in this country. I know you don't either. I think it's a bad idea. It's misguided. If we want to talk about containing health care costs, we should be giving consumers information and resources to make decisions in a marketplace, not federalizing that system.
I mean, is this plan, I don't want to get in the weeds in this plan. There's too much in the weeds. It's too hard. I get a headache when I look at all the details of this thing. But, you know, in terms of government planning and a centralized government program, is this a litmus test or a turning point? Or is Senator DeMint right, you know, when he said this is the whole biggest political issue of our time? What's your thought on that?
Well, if they succeed in bringing into the federal government 1/7 of our economy, it's a huge turning point of a historical magnitude. It's also a big bait-and-switch operation. They said we need to do things to control costs. Now what they're really doing is just expanding access. The CBO and others have said this thing isn't going to control costs. It's not only going to add to the federal spending. It isn't going to do much, if anything, to control premiums for people like you and me and our fellow citizens who are worried about cost containment. But I agree that this is a fork in the road for the policy direction of the country. It's a case study for people's philosophical view about the role of markets and individuals versus government. President Obama is leading the country in I think, a very aggressive liberal direction. And he ran as somebody, but he's governing as a very aggressive and traditional left of center leader, really a liberal leader.
Governor, you were out in the California Conservative Political Action Committee. You got very good reviews, at least one. I saw the Human Events article by John Gizzi. They say you did very well. When will you declare your nomination, sir, your candidacy?
Larry, I'm going to finish my job here as governor over the next year and some months. I'm the vice chair of the Republican Governors Association, so I'm going to travel and speak on that. I've started a PAC. TimPawlenty.com. It's called the Freedom First PAC, but I don't have any decisions for you tonight and won't have any decisions about my future in or out of politics for quite some time.
All right, Governor Tim Pawlenty, we thank you, sir, for your time. Really good stuff.
You're welcome.
Thank you ever so much. All right, now, let's bring in our panel here.